Hi, today I'm reviewing the Beauty Blender Selfie Shield Dry Oil Primer. And really quick, I just want to say I purchase all these products with my own money, so if you want to help keep the channel independent, check out my products at the Amazon link below and at nobsbeauty.com. So, the Beauty Blender brand, which started out with the Beauty Blender sponges as their main product, has branched out significantly recently. They introduced their first foundation, and now they've got a line of primers to go with those. They came out with the Opal primer, and then they also came out with the Selfie Shield primer, which out of all of their new primers, the Selfie Shield one was the one that appealed to me most because it included an SPF in it. And it's a dry oil, so you can use it without looking greasy. And anyway, so it's a chemical sunscreen, so which is why it applies so easily. If it were a physical sunscreen, including zinc or titanium dioxide, it wouldn't be as invisible and probably wouldn't work as well in an oil. So if you're not a big fan of chemical sunscreens, then this probably isn't for you. But if you're open-minded about it, then this might be a good one to check out. So I'm going to let you guys know my thoughts on it based on my Sarah score scale. And my first criteria is packaging, and they've done a nice job packaging this in a little tiny container because it is 1 ounce. So it's a cute little bottle. It works well, travels well, doesn't leak at all, and it also dispenses from a fine point dispenser. So very easy, nice packaging. They did a good job with that. My second criteria is alcohol, and this does not contain any denatured or drying alcohols. In fact, it doesn't contain any alcohols at all, so no issues with that. My third criteria is fragrance, and this is fragrance-free, and it has really no scent at all. It's got a very short ingredient list, actually. I'm wondering if I can find it on the box. Where is it? It's right here on the box, so it's very short, you can see. So, no alcohol, no fragrance. It's a good thing. So if you have sensitive skin and aren't sensitive to chemical sunscreens, that's definitely a few good criteria that it meets. So my fourth criteria is the manufacturing location, and this is made in the U.S., so no issues at all with that. My fifth criteria is ease of use, and the Beauty Blender, their directions state to dispense a small amount into the Beauty Blender foundation container, which I should have grabbed it, but if you've seen the foundation, they have like a little sponge container on it, so the foundation dispenses into that little container. I should have grabbed that, but anyway. They recommend dispensing a couple drops into that container and then applying it with a damp Beauty Blender sponge. I don't recommend doing that, mainly because when you're applying it with a damp sponge, it just doesn't ensure that you're going to get the optimal coverage for the sunscreen. So it could get watered down, and it could be unevenly dispensed over your skin, and then you're not really protected from the sun at all. So I just recommend putting several drops onto the tips of your fingers and then massaging it over your skin and making sure that you've got a good amount. So it covers your entire face in a nice even coat of application. So you can see it doesn't look greasy. It's a dry oil, so dry oils don't look greasy. They absorb quickly as opposed to other oils that take a long time to absorb. So this is nice for that. And so that's how I recommend applying it, unless you're going to use something else with sunscreen protection over it. If you are, then you don't need to worry so much about the actual application of this, as long as the other products that contain sunscreen are evenly applied. But if you're going to use this as your main protection, then I recommend applying it with your hands and not with a damp Beauty Blender. So, and a little bit doesn't go the longest way with this, but since it's an oil, it spreads pretty easily. I expect a bottle like this with daily use would last me maybe a month. So as long as I'm applying it, in a nice even coat. So the ease of use it's pretty simple, but I just recommend doing it the other way just to make sure that you're actually protected from the sun. So otherwise, very easy to use. If you use a serum underneath your skin, or if you have super dry skin, this does not work the best over several layers of skincare products. So if you have dry skin, this is hydrating. So perhaps skipping your moisturizer and just applying your serum in the morning, an essence and a serum, and then applying this over that. That's what I've been having to do. When I applied this over a serum and a moisturizer, it just sometimes pilled a little bit. So the less amount of skincare products used before this, the better. And if you have dry skin, this does hydrate your skin lightly, so you might be able to skip your normal moisturizer. So it's something to consider. Or if you have oily skin, you might not even need to use a serum at all and just go with this. So I just wanted to point that out. So if you have a very intensive morning routine with a lot of products, this might not be the best. Or maybe get a sample and try it first so you can see if it's going to pill or not. So, and then if it does, sometimes applying things after letting the earlier products absorb a longer amount of time might help reduce that as well. Or just really lightly patting it on your face could also help. So there's a few tricks with pilling, but if something pills, it pills generally. So I've figured out a few tricks, which are patting things on, but in letting things absorb better. So anyway, so I just want to point that out. My 6th criteria is antioxidants, and includes, in the short ingredient list it includes a lot of argan oils in there. It's a good beneficial ingredient. Vitamin E is in there. Dunaliella selena extract, which is a microalgae, which is an antioxidant. It's a plant extract. So, and then bisabolol is in there. So it's got a lot of good beneficial ingredients and hydrating ingredients, while at the same time hydrating your skin, but not making your skin feel greasy or oily or anything like that. So lots of good beneficial ingredients. My 7th criteria is animal testing, and a lot of the things I found online were from before they introduced skincare products. So the general consensus is that they are cruelty-free, but a lot of that was written when they were just making sponges and accessories, which didn't need to be tested. So if you have any updates or any links, leave them below. But for the most part, it looks like they are still cruelty-free. And then my 9th criteria is performance, and this does a nice job. It hydrates your skin without looking greasy. It provides invisible sunscreen protection. It doesn't necessarily extend makeup wear, but if you have drier skin like me and towards the end of the day your skin looks flaky, it definitely helps with that. If you have more oily skin, it doesn't make your skin look greasy. It definitely does not extend the makeup wear time, but it does at the end of the day. Your skin doesn't look greasy or oily or anything like that. So, which could be a problem with certain other primers. But if you look at my hand, it just fully absorbed. It is I would say, a satin matte finish. So, yeah, definitely hydrates your skin underneath the foundation. Provides a nice canvas for makeup application, which is a good thing. Nice hydrating primer that actually protects yourself from sun damage, which is really one of the only anti-aging things you can really do for your skin is apply sunscreen. So if I could change one thing about my skincare in the last several years of life, I would have been more religious about my sunscreen. I'm very religious about it now, but I wish I would have been more so when I was younger. But when you're young, you don't really necessarily think of all of those things all the time. So anyway, so my 9th criteria is the price, and this is only the real downside of this. This is the full size, which is 1 ounce, and it retails for $32. So it can be very expensive. However, it's kind of an all-in-one product. I mean, it moisturizes, primes, and is skin sun protection. So it's kind of a 3-in-1 product if you think about it. However, if you use it daily and use a proper amount, I would say 1 bottle probably will last about a month. So it is a little bit expensive, which was the only real downside. But if you can get 3 products into one, then it's a little bit more worth it. So it just depends. And then my 10th criteria, which is the it factor. I really liked it. It's a nice option for sun protection. It's a nice primer. It hydrates your skin without making it feel greasy. It's fragrance-free. Doesn't contain denatured or drying alcohols. And packaged well. And yeah, really liking it. It's probably so far my favorite product of the Beauty. Well, I like the Beauty Blender sponge, but I guess it's my favorite makeup product, skincare product of Beauty Blender, which I guess they only have a couple of anyway. So anyway, I like it. It's probably one of my favorite new primers, I would say. So anyway, so overall, this got a 9 out of 10, which is pretty good. I'm interested if you guys have had a chance to try this out yet or not, or if you've tried the other 2 Beauty Blender primers. how'd you like them? So leave a comment. I love hearing from you guys. Check out nobsbeauty.com and the Amazon link below, and thank you guys so much.